Hi, everybody. This is Kevin with Leading Edge Financial Planning, and hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to talk about the multi-millionaire pilot next door. So, the MM. Okay, it used to be the millionaire next door. There was a book written when I was a kid that showed all the attributes about people that were millionaires, and it wasn't really based on scientific evidence, but it all was good, and it really, it just talked about the ability to save and invest, and to stay in the same house, drive the same cars, stay married, all these kinds of things. Now, sometimes these items are not possible. But today we're going to talk about how you can increase your probability or likelihood of success if you take certain actions in your investment accounts. And again, Charlie and I and the team, we've worked with multiple pilots through the years. And there really are some items, some actions that we see pilots take that have already become multimillionaires. Is this a guarantee that it's going to happen? No, absolutely not. Is this advice? No, this is just some thinking about what are these people doing that's allowed them to build multi-million dollar portfolios. So let's talk about likelihood, increase the likelihood. Okay, so Charlie Munger said, if you don't get this elementary probability into your repertoire, I don't speak French, then you go through a long life like a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. So he's basically saying, if you don't understand the elements of probability, you're going to have a tough time. And so what we're trying to do here is to say that none of these are, exact, and they will absolutely get you there. But I think the probability, and I think you'll agree once you hear them. The second thing that I think is really important before we jump in is that pilots, due to the new contracts, other than furlough, which is always a possibility, if pilots work for a long time, I'll just say a long time, they have a great opportunity of becoming a multimillionaire. There's all of this money that's being put into retirement plans. I mean, you're working for it, right? You're working hard for it, but it's being put in for you. If you do some other items and save and invest in other places, again, the probability of success goes way up. So pilot's income to me is, sort of like a bond. Okay. So an equity income would be some years you kill it. You just do, $5 million. Other years you do zero. That would be someone's equity income. Bond income is every year, it's pretty stable. And looking at incomes of pilots that we've worked with over the years, they're pretty stable. So you can plan. Now, the thing that gets in the way is life, and we get that. So can't always do these things. So I'm going to go through the 7 now, and then we'll discuss how to try to maximize most of them, all of them. So number 1 is make sure the 401k is maxed. And maybe that just seems ridiculous. If you're a late captain, if you're late in the game as a captain, of course, your 401k is already maximized. But getting to the maximization point as soon as possible can really make a difference because, those that are 50 and already have a goodly amount of money, you're getting compound interest going for the last 15 years. So if you're doing first year pay, start as high as you can. I would say at least 5%. Some would say a lot higher, but if you have a family in your first year pay, yeah, if you can do something, that's great. And then second year pay on your anniversary of each year that you get paid more, try to increase your 401k. Now, we're not going to get into Roth or regular 401k here. Happy to get into it later. But if you're lower income, obviously you want to put it in Roth. If you're higher income, absolutely you want to put it in, or not absolutely, maybe you want to put it in deferred. So first year pay, let's say if you have 5%, then you give me 5 again in the second. Give me 5, get 5. That's 20% now. And by the 4th year, you're probably going to be pretty close to maximizing your 401k unless the levels go way up. So making sure you max out your 401k as early as possible is a tremendous benefit. Again, there's always caveats with, hey, I need money for this, I need money for that, I need money to pay for a house, etc. But if you can try to do that with everything else that's in your life, that's really what we see multi-millionaire pilots next door do. So next one is the market-based cash balance pension. Now this it's not really fair because we don't really know how well these are going to work yet. But, to us, these are kind of an extension of the 401k. They're not exactly the same. They're not invested exactly the same. but you're going to have money put into the market-based cash balance pension plan. And getting that money maxed out with all of the things being equal is really going to put you in a good situation. We're going to do a tremendous amount of education on these plans when they get approved. So next case is healthcare. Okay, so let me give you the bad and the ugly. The bad and the ugly is that age 65 to end of life, average American couple spends $315,000 on healthcare. $315,000. People with money, this is documented in studies, people with money have actually outlived other people by 2 to 3 years. So get wealthy, and it's probably a correlation. It's not probably because they get wealthy. It's probably a correlation thing. But so healthcare costs might even be more than $315,000. The other thing I've seen in the last decade is, lots of different medicines and treatments, et cetera, that people might use that are not covered by insurance. People are doing concierge medicine. So just really making sure that you think about healthcare, and that's part of your cross-check as part of your financial plan, we think is really important. Now, for United pilots, you have an extra special benefit with the RHA. And I'll talk about that just really briefly in this video. So number four is backdoor. So you've maxed out your 401k. You've put as much Roth as you can get into your 401k. Market-based cash balance pension plan might not be the second thing to do. Maybe the Roth IRA might be the second thing to do. But you can each get money into a backdoor IRA. $7,000 per year, if you're under 50, doesn't sound like a lot of money, but if you have a spouse, that's 15 to 20 years, growth, never pay tax again. Boy, that's good. And we've seen some multi-millionaire pilots in our group that we work with that have a ton of money in Roth IRAs, as well as Roth 401ks. So again, there's lots of caveats with when to do that. And we're happy to discuss it if you would like. The brokerage account. So the brokerage account is absolutely the greatest account for equity investors, because equities have a different tax profile. They're taxed at a preferential rate, at least right now. One individual who has most of his wealth not inside IRAs and 401ks is Warren Buffett. You mention him in every video. But Warren Buffett has all his money in a taxable account. How is he possibly wealthy? Well, he's a tax person too. He knows a lot about tax if you've read his books. And, equities, if there's a dividend, you pay capital gain treatment on it. If there's not a dividend, as Berkshire Hathaway does not pay, he pays no taxes until he sells. So anyway, the brokerage account, we think, again, it could be the second after the 401k. It could be the first. Depending on if you have shorter term goals, you can also use the brokerage account or the after-tax account for that as well. Next opportunity to save and invest is not really an account type, but it's a opportunity when you go from the right seat to the left seat. So we've seen some people that go to the left seat, and I've been in this situation too, where I want to get something and you're dreaming about it, thinking about it. You just need the money, waiting for an inheritance from someone you don't like, or waiting to go from the right seat to the left seat. Hopefully you'll win the lottery, et cetera, and you're dreaming about something. And then when you go to the left seat, all of that extra income gets taken by something. So Mark and I have done a video on going to the left seat, and we thought about it really hard. And we said, if you can save 33% of the money that you make extra, 1/3 of the money that you make extra, that would be fantastic, especially because your taxes are going to go up. It's more like 50% after tax. So if you can take that opportunity, if you're thinking about going to the left seat and things start happening again, where people are moving seats tremendously, that's an opportunity to plan and have a plan before you get there. Because once you get there and the new car is in the driveway or the boat or the plane or whatever, it's really hard to do anything at that point. So number 7, multi-millionaire
10,
pilot next door
9,
is before
8,
retirement.
7,
So you
5,
might retire in a
4,
really bad
3,
time, okay?
2,
Might get furloughed at the
1.
end of your career, a really bad time. So I would say make a plan for the last 5 years. Have a plan mapped out for the last 5 years. You can do this yourself. We're not just advocating for, hey, you got to use a financial planner. That is something we love to do, because It's just so important. It's not a good idea to be a multi-millionaire pilot at age 60 and then retire and have a million at age 65. So I would suggest that you map it out and think about the different vehicles that you're going to use in retirement. So let me show you a chart here on really what we're talking about, the essence of these individuals. Who are these people? Okay, so in America, and you have to always punish the people with money. That just seems to be where we're headed these days. But in America, there's income and there's wealth. I mean, that's the same all around the world. But in America, in the U.S., income is taxed for the most part. Right now, there's not really a wealth tax. So most of our pilots are high income and low wealth. I mean, that's or the pilot next door is not usually 24 years of age. They've actually had many years of not having any wealth, but having a high income. And again, this is considered by the media. If you make a lot of money, you're considered to be wealthy. That's not true. If you stop flying, boy, you're in trouble. So this is quadrant number one: high income, low wealth. Really, what we would like to do is get you over here to the low income, high wealth. I mean, low income, high wealth, you're not paying much taxes and you're just spending like crazy and you're wealthy. You can spend as much as you want. And that's my definition of wealth, is being able to spend what you want. But we at least want to try to get you in the years that you're working as a pilot into quadrant two, which is high income, high wealth. Making $400,000, $500,000 a year. Money is coming to you. It's all getting taxed. Thank you for your service in supporting our country with taxes. But we really do want to get you to a place where you can stop flying and not have to worry so much about just keep pushing your whole life. So that's really what these seven, wealth building steps are about. Is there are better ways. I'm not going to say there's best ways because this is not advice. But there are better ways to save and invest as a high income pilot. And again, when you're just starting, have an emergency fund. That's where the brokerage account could come in, or just a bank account emergency fund. That's at the bottom. Health savings accounts might be something you could do if it fits. Then 401ks, Roth style, deferred compensation, like the market-based cash balance pension plan. We didn't talk about 529s here today, but college education, obviously a huge cost. Again, that's something that could have been number 8. After-tax contributions, that's the backdoor Roth. Buy and hold tax deferral, that's the brokerage account. And again, trying to figure out ways to not hurt yourself and your family by not being able to spend money, but as you earn more money, to take some of that extra income and channel it towards these different places. That will give you a very high likelihood of success. So let me give you one more quote from Charlie Munger. So could every pilot, might every pilot be multimillionaire pilots? No. Not every pilot will be. There's lots of life circumstances. There's lots of other choices besides money. Absolutely, we understand that. There's lots of other choices besides money. And sometimes not upgrading, as Charlie did not, to the left seat because you care more about life than you do just about money. We understand that. But some of you serve and you have big pensions, so maybe you're not going to have a big pile of money, but you're still going to have a good life. And many of others might have gotten into it late or had other reasons. But what Charlie Munger said is it is remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid. So he's basically saying, yeah, his way of talking was kind of difficult, but just consistently not being stupid is the long-term advantage that he saw in he and Warren Buffett, instead of trying to be very intelligent. So staying humble and just understanding that the pilot's work life, although it is finite, it can be a long enough time if you take the right actions to build wealth. So if you have any comments or questions, please let us know. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, please send me an email and tell me what I need to do better. Always looking to improve. So thank you so much.
Leading Edge Financial Planning, LLC is a registered investment advisor. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where Leading Edge Financial Planning and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. For additional information, please visit our website at www.leadingedgeplanning.com. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, and it should not be relied on as such. It should not be considered a solicitation to buy or an offer to sell a security. It does not take into account any investor's particular investment objectives, strategies, tax status, or investment horizon. You should consult your attorney or tax advisor. The views expressed in this commentary are subject to change based on market and other conditions. These documents may contain certain statements that may be deemed forward-looking statements. Please note that any such statements are not guarantees of any future performance, and actual results or developments may differ materially from those projected. Any projections, market outlooks, or estimates are based upon certain assumptions and should not be construed as indicative of actual events that will occur. All information has been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but its accuracy is not guaranteed. There is no representation or warranty as to the current accuracy, reliability, or completeness of, nor liability for, decisions based on such information, and it should not be relied on as such.